Thank you for coming back to see us here at Ask Shauni and Mondi.
That's right.
I am Shauni.
And I'm Mondi.
And we are the owners of UrbanWellBred.com.
That's right.
Today,
Yes.
part 5,
Yes.
the Fear Trap series.
This has
The
been
fear of loss,
Yes.
relationship.
Yes, this is a big one.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Don't move.
Okay.
Yes.
So the fear of loss,
Yes.
relationship. Now, I think people fear losing relationships, mainly because probably if you go back to one's childhood or, the coming of age, they lost somebody that was dear to them, either probably through death or, they were as a sense of abandonment from a parent or something like that.
I'm with you.
And it impacts, a child in a major way. And I don't think sometimes adults understand that children understand a lot more than they give them credit for.
True.
Like you say things around and you do things around and you take off as if it doesn't matter to them, but it really impacts a person in a major way.
Yes.
And when they become an adult, they have these complexes in relationships, fearing the loss of the relationship.
Yes.
So, they do weird things. They either change themselves drastically to fit the relationship, or they do things to sabotage the relationship unbeknownst to them, right? So for me, I had the same thing, abandonment issues as a kid, physical abandonment and emotional abandonment. And how I tended to handle things was I would sabotage and then I would run away.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Before I could get hurt. Before somebody gave a chance, there was a chance for you to hurt me, and that's why. But I realized as an adult where that came from, and it was the sense of abandonment, and the sense of abandonment both physically and emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because it imprints upon your mind as a child or as a teen. Losing someone in some way, either a parent that's left or a loved one has passed away. Losing someone is never easy, so we never want to discount that. But there are ways that you can get around that and deal with that to help yourself progress and know when you're starting to get to the point where you're fearing that someone is going to be gone at some point, So there's some tools and some tricks that we'll give them along the way to help them deal with that.
Yeah, when it comes to relationships, what people do a lot, especially women, I'm not sure about the male perspective of it.
I'll give it to you.
But women, please take a moment to subscribe. We are trying to spread love here. We're trying to spread positivity. It's so much negativity going on. And I think it's because people are in a negative mind space and they don't know how to get out of it. Also, people are in a mind where they're needing money. They're not, successful. But we are trying to help you to learn how to change your mindset, how to get in a positive mind space so that we could move you towards success. We've been there. We've been there, so we know what it's like, and we know the steps that it takes to help one get out of it. So please.
Yes, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ask Shauni and Mondi.
Tend to lose themselves in a relationship, right? Just so that they can hold on to the person that they're with, right? They tend to just kind of transform and make themselves the type of person that the person that they're in relationship wants them to be, right? So they never have a chance to really develop who they are, right? And at that point, you don't know who you are, okay? Which is a problem. And then you're kind of wondering why there's misery on your behalf in the relationship. It's because there's a part of you that has changed. Now, listen to me, okay? Sometimes we need to change in a relationship. Let me be clear about that, right? Because there are certain parts of us that really, really do need to change in a relationship. And sometimes if you have a good partner, they're able to point that out in a loving way to you. But that change should be beneficial to you.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
It might benefit them as well, but how you know that, get that sense of maybe I should change this? If you look at it as a whole and say, you know what, that would be really beneficial to me, regardless of the relationship.
True.
It would be beneficial to me to change this certain behavior. But when you get to a point where you are changing completely who you are, you changing how you dress, you changing how you think, you changing how you do your makeup. I'm talking about things that you love. You changing things that you love to suit the other person. I think that we shouldn't do that. I think that when we have to change our core being, I think that the relationship isn't worth it if they are requiring you to change who you are.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you shouldn't have to change. Well, that's how women handle it, right?
Right.
So guys, we will tend to, and I'm not speaking for all guys, but just some of the people that I know and for myself.
Right.
We run. Guys will tend to run, and what I mean by run is they'll leave. They'll take off. They'll leave mentally. They'll disconnect emotionally. They won't be committed into anything. They won't be committed in the relationship. They won't be committed in parenting. They won't be committed in having a job. They won't be committed in their finances. They won't be committed to the things that matter to the relationship.
When they feel abandoned.
When they feel abandoned, they'll leave. It manifests itself in that way because you sabotage because you're not used to sticking in there. Sticking in there, having stick-to-itiveness. Yeah. So from the male perspective, I think it's part of we haven't been taught the whole idea of how to stay in there when it comes to dealing with the responsibility of being in a relationship. So a lot of times when people leave, it affects us. It imprints on our minds, and so. Parents leave. The dad usually is the one that leaves the relationship. Sometimes the woman leaves, but a lot of times it's the man that leaves, and so we see that and we leave. So we leave relationships, we leave work, we leave our finances, we leave all those things.
Imitating, we're imitating.
Yes, we're imitating what we see.
That is crazy.
It's hard, There's one of those things you have to realize when you get into that mindset. You like you pointed out that you have to realize when you're there.
Yeah. It's difficult, right? Relationships in general are difficult, right? But I think that if we get a sense of who we are, right? A sense of confidence in who we are, and we realize that the way that we behave and the reason that we are willing to change everything about ourselves for someone. So Johnny wants you to, why Johnny though?
You always call him Johnny.
What is Johnny about? I don't even get, anyway.
Johnny be leaving.
Johnny be leaving. But if that man wants you to change this, change that, change this, change that.
Or that woman
about you, right? And you're like, okay, all right, because I don't want to lose you. I'll do whatever it takes not to lose you. I think that we shouldn't look at it like that way. And I think that we shouldn't go that route, right? Like I said, yes, change the things that would be beneficial to the relationship, but also benefits you as a person, right? A thing that helps you grow as a person. You get what I'm saying? That's the sort of thing that you would want to change in a relationship. But if somebody is telling you, you know what, I want you to change your religious beliefs because I believe this, or I want you to change the fact that you like to go play checkers on a Friday night and you in the checker league and it's something that you love, but I don't like the fact that you go play checkers. I want you to be here with me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Things that, when they start trying to take away things that you love, when they start trying to take a part of your identity away from you, because you are fearing the loss of them, you change that. I think we got to be stronger, right? And realize, look, if you want me to change the core being of myself, I don't think this is the relationship for me, okay? And you could love that person to death, right? But a person that is with you and that is working with you and cares about you enough and loves you enough to say, look, these are things that I don't care for, but I know that they are who you are. So I'm willing to accept them, right? These are the type of relationship that you might want to consider staying in, right? But the other ones, you know, I'm like, see you later, sucker, so long, goodbye, Kid Rocks. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Arrivederci, goodbye, gone.
And you know, all of that is really about the mind, though. You know what I mean? This is really a mind thing, that people get caught up in their mind. We always talk about the mind. If you ever watch any of our series, you know that we are big proponents of mastering your mind.
Correct.
And when a person gets caught up in the idea of losing something, someone, it's because they're locked in their mind. They're in what they call, I've heard it called hypnotic rhythm, or you're drifting.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a state where you're dwelling upon the thought of losing someone so much that it takes you out of your normal space.
Yes.
You know, you're just your normal way of thinking, or your way of thinking that's productive.
Yeah.
So you are constantly thinking about losing that person, and you're not thinking about how you can grow the relationship or how you can be better in the relationship for yourself and for that person. So you're in a mind space where all you're thinking about is loss, and you are thinking about how that affected you in the past, and you're projecting that again on that person, and so you're constantly just worrying and worrying and worrying, and it makes you do dumb stuff.
Indeed. Okay. Now, I too, I guess like a guy, sort of, I was a runner, right? I was a self-sabotager, right? But it did not dawn on me until maybe 3 or 4 years ago that I do struggle with abandonment issues from my childhood. It dawned on me, like, why do I do that? Why do I sabotage the relationship? And it's like, I could change some things. I knew that I could, but I didn't want to. Okay? Because I was just like, my way or the highway. Seriously. And it didn't dawn on me till later on in my life. You might have a little problem here. Yeah, there's something really wrong with that, I think. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. And it came to me, you have abandonment issues. So what you do is sabotage the relationship so that you could leave it before they have a chance to leave you.
Yes. Wow. That's deep. That's really deep. And it happens like that. And it happens like that for a lot of people. A lot of people get into that mode. And how you can get out of that is one way, is you can just, it sounds simple enough, and I don't want to overstate it in a way that it makes it seem like, oh, you just do this.
Right.
But if you can get busy doing things, get your mind into a space where you're just doing things, or
especially things that you love.
Things that you love. Get back to you, the things that you love. And how you can get out of that is to build yourself up.
Right.
Do the things you love. Think about helping somebody else. Get in a space where you are feeling gratitude, or thinking about that person in a different way. You can show them your love.
Yeah.
If you're worried about losing them, you can show them your love, but you don't have to obsess about it.
Yeah. And you got to communicate too.
And you got to communicate with them.
You got to communicate.
If you're feeling some way about losing that person, talk to them about it.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
It is, especially for a person to not want to, that don't like showing their vulnerability to someone because they think that vulnerability is a weakness.
It's a weakness, yes.
I know a lot of guys do that.
Yes.
A lot of guys do, and females too. A lot of females too. I did it. I know that I did because I didn't want to show that I was had a weakness. But what I didn't realize was vulnerability was a strength.
That's strength.
Right? It is the ability to show people the softer side of you and feel strong enough in your mind that this person will not only be able to handle it, but they will comfort you in your vulnerability.
Yes.
And that was something that I did not have. Number one, because I ain't really, the relationship that I had, I couldn't tell them jokers jack. I'll tell you that right now. I couldn't tell them, I wouldn't tell them nothing about how I feel and my life depended on it.
Lord have mercy.
But you have to communicate, guys. You have to be able to tell the person that you're with how you feel, and don't just take what they want from you.
Yes.
Okay? Hear that. All right? Hear that, and you think about it and say, you know what? Is this something that's minor? You know, that's not going to do much for me and not changing who I am that much. I could do that for them.
Sure.
Right? I could do that. But if it's something that they're asking you to do that's changing like who you are as a person, I'm like, I don't know, right? But you also have to tell them how you feel as well. Don't hold back how you feel about the whole thing either, right?
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is you taking in all their stuff, and then you end up feeling resentful towards them because they're not doing any of the things that you want them to do, but they don't know what you want them to do because you haven't told them. I mean, it's just a vicious little nasty little cycle.
It's a nasty little cycle, and it keeps on going around until one person jumps out the cycle and it's gone.
And then the relationship is over.
And it's over, and you wonder how it happened. So guys, communicate with the person. If you're feeling some way, you're feeling like that person is going to leave you, or you're worried about losing somebody, talk to that person, express to them how you feel. That's a good way to start.
Now, you might have some old knucklehead that's not mature enough to be able to take your vulnerability and telling them how you feel about it, right? Now, if you feel this about the person and you know this person, right? This might not be the situation that you want to be in, right? Because when you're in a relationship, if you feel in a certain type of way, you should feel safe in talking to them about it, right? And so they won't take it and use it against you. People do this a lot in relationships. They take things that the other person says and use it against them instead of trying to help them and trying to help them through it and do what they're supposed to do because they love them and they want to see the relationship grow. They can tend to take it and use it against them, right? So if you're in that situation, you know who they are. You know it. You know.
If they don't guard your feelings, if they don't guard your emotions like it's a precious gem, if they don't want it to ever get hurt, then you know that's not for you.
Exactly.
Guys, I think this was a perfect time to end this session here. I think it's a perfect time to just say, hey,
like 2 minutes.
we gotta go.
Oh, I don't even have on a watch.
You don't have a watch. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But guys, if you have any comments, any thoughts, any ideas, anything you heard, you like, dislike, good, bad, or indifferent, drop it in the comments box below. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. And guys, please support us. He has on a lovely shirt.
I do.
Liberty. This fits perfectly with what's going on right now.
Liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Not
for some, but liberty and justice for all. You can pick up pullovers like these, accessories, shades, cool stuff like that at our website, www.urbanwellbred.com.
That's right, guys. And don't forget to like, and
share. And please, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.